I'm thankful for today. I rise and shine. With gratitude, this life is mine.
Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Amy. How are you doing? I saw an Instagram post and it was about marketing and small businesses, and this lady was complaining about not being paid for marketing services or advertising, and I cannot count how many times I've gotten calls about marketing, advertising, and I turn them down because I can't afford it. When you're starting a small business, you don't have a budget for marketing. You really do not, because you're starting really small. You're trying to reduce your overhead cost, and it's normal not to have that when you're starting small. I am not talking about a big business. I'm talking about small, very small. You haven't put aside an amount yet for marketing. So, if you are one of those businesses, myself included, if you're starting a small business, you're making cupcakes at home and you're selling online, or people are ordering from you on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, your best bet will be making flyers and posting on social media. That will be the cheapest way to market. I have done it. So if you're running a business from home, or the reason I'm emphasizing from home is because I'm assuming it's an itty bitty business. I know some don't like to call their small business a small business, but it's okay. You're running a very small business and you cannot afford advertising. I'll tell you what, I have always done in the past, and I still do. Whatever social media platform that you have more, you don't even need to have a lot of followers or subscribers, rather, assuming you're on TikTok. And I just opened my TikTok account and Instagram account, so I'm still trying to grow that as well. So if you're on TikTok or on Instagram, it's the same name, Amy Simplified. You can check it out, you can follow. Nothing happening there yet. Okay, I digress. So make flyers and post them on your social media, and that way people can see the posts. Secondly, sponsor those posts on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter if you want. I'm not a big fan of Twitter. You can post the flyers there. There are 3 apps that are your best friends as a small business owner. At GPT, Canva, and CapCut. Those 3 apps will help you a lot. When you're starting, there is a lot of information. It's not saying just run with whatever you see online, do a lot of research. But then again, I'm trying to focus on just marketing, flyers. You're trying to get that visibility that you need, because that's what we struggle with when we start a small business. If I start a business today and I put the sign and say grand opening, what's the first thing I'm worried about? Visibility, right? How do I get that? I'll make a flyer and put it on Facebook, or put it on TikTok or Instagram, and sponsor the post. Usually to sponsor the post is not as expensive as if you were going to do a large campaign. Okay, if you're going to pay a company to do a campaign or whatnot, it's going to cost a lot of money. But if you use social media wisely, you can benefit from it. So sponsor the post. I have spent $5 on advertising before. I have spent $2. So it just depends on how long you like your ad to run. You have $20. Hey, sponsor it for $20. The more money you put in, the longer the ad will run, if that makes sense. So your $5 ad may run for only 4 days, and your $20 ad is going to run for 16 days. But the fact that you have $0 budget for marketing doesn't mean you shouldn't market. No matter how small. If you need some ideas, I'm very happy to share more. Just let me know. If you need help making flyers, go on Canva. Canva, you can make free flyers there. Go on CapCut, you can make free ads there, 30-second ads, 10-minute ads. It doesn't really matter. You're charging me $10 for the ad. If I can't afford to give you $10, I have to figure out how I can make it. However, if I find somebody else that can make me the ad for $2, I'm going to go with that person that can make the ad for $2 and not that person that can make it for $10. Why? Not because I don't want to pay you the $10, but then my overhead cost is $8 more. So just keep that in mind when you're working with small businesses. You're not a charity organization. I don't expect you to do anything free for anybody, but take advantage of those 3 apps I just mentioned. I did a little short showing you how to use CapCut and scrolling to pick the template you want and just put in your videos. So if you are selling shoes, just take pictures of your shoes, or you can do a video. Maybe somebody wearing the shoe, somebody carrying the bag, have them dress up, carry the bag, the shoe, and just do a quick 5 seconds, 10-second video. If you have just one video, hey, post a video. If you have multiple videos, that's why I said CapCut comes in handy. You can just insert them. So if you have a template and you can insert 10 different videos, you just insert, and it just plays with the different transition that CapCut provides. So you don't have to be a pro in editing to do that. It helps you pick a nice template and you just see it play nicely. So try to take advantage of those free platforms for your small business. Okay, maybe I should just add this here. There's no point making another video for something else. When you're done with your advertising and your campaign, there are a couple of other things you should do while you're starting your welcome letter. This is not for products you're selling now. This will be for services you're rendering. If you're rendering a service and you're taking on a client or taking on a patient, whatever service you're rendering, have some form of documentation and be professional. Try to stick with emails and not text message. Text message is okay, but with email you can track all of the conversations you have. So make sure you use an email and not text message. When you take on that patient or that client, you can send them an email and insert in that email whatever flyer you made on Canva. So you make a nice pretty flyer. Hi, Mr. Smith, we're glad to provide services, blah 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 blah. If you need anything, let us know. We're open 24/7 or we are open 7 days a week, whatever your time is. And they have all of that basic information. If you have an emergency, call this number. If you need help during the day, call this number. If you need help after hours, call this number. This is just welcome. And you can make some of those nice fun flyers with Canva and insert that into your email. And you can make free newsletters on Canva as well. So your email will always look professional. If you need help or making those, let me know as well. There are different templates on Canva. All you have to do is go on Canva and just type newsletter. Once you type newsletter, to show you all of the free templates, you pick one and you try to stick with one. That way it's kind of like your brand. Every time someone gets an email, it's the same template style. You don't want to pick template A for this email and next week they get an email, it's a different template altogether, and they try to figure out, oh wait a minute, is it the same company? Try to use the same template for all of your clients and all of your emails. That's for newsletter. You want a welcome letter, you're trying to figure out what kind of welcome letter I can send to my client. You can go on Canva as well. ChatGPT does that as well. You can go there to have an idea, what should I include in my welcome letter? Okay, and you get that information, then you can make a flyer on Canva. Just type welcome letter sample or newsletter sample or contract. Those are the 3 things I would think you'll be working with when you open your business today, that week. Those are the important things you want. You want a contract. You want to have some kind of understanding with your clients. That way you both are on the same page with your expectation. So welcome letter, contract, newsletter. just type on ChatGPT newsletter sample. You can put your company name, that way it can help you with that. It shows you a sample. Then don't just copy and paste it on your email. Go to Word, put it in there, proofread, make sure that it's correct. You can take out some things and put in, you just kind of personalize it and make it yours. Okay? And don't just copy it and just paste the whole thing in the email. No, because these are sample. They're just giving you an example. That way you have an idea what to put in yours, assuming you don't know what to do or what to include. The newsletter that goes in the email, but you're not sending them email every day, can be a weekly newsletter. If that's too much trouble, just make it a monthly newsletter about anything, any upcoming information, discount, promotion, campaign going on. Then your contract, the contract is just whatever you guys agree on. I can include that in this video. I can find a way to include link. I don't know if that's possible. Either I'll put it in the description or I'll put it under the comments for those 3 things. And then if there's anything else you need, let me know. Hiring a staff. I did talk about focusing on just home care because I've been getting a lot of questions about home care, and that was why I wanted to focus on that. But I can include a 4th sample, which would be job description. So you're trying to figure out a job description for your staff, and you've already had a meeting with them, let them know what they should be doing with the client, for the client, what to do, what not to say, and all of that. You want to include that in a job description and hand them a copy. That way they can read that copy and familiarize themselves with what to do and get advantage of those 3 apps. Okay, alrighty, you take care and have a good day.